Hi, I'm Christy Rost. Today we're taking a culinary journey to southern France, where tomatoes, onions, and garlic are trademarks of cooking in Provence. I'm combining these with the French country's love of cheese to create a caramelized onion and Gruyère Tart Provençale. I've preheated the skillet over medium heat, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a tablespoon of unsalted butter. Just swirl to coat the bottom of the pan, and then add 2 sweet onions that are peeled and sliced thinly. I'm going to saute these for 15 to 20 minutes until they become caramelized, which means they're going to be golden brown. Now, if you want them a little browner, then cook them an additional 10 minutes. So I just stir these real quickly to get the butter and olive oil over all of the onions. Then let them cook, just turning every now and then. During the final minute of cooking, add 1/8 teaspoon of salt and 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Cook just 1 minute more, then remove from the heat and set them aside until the onions are just warm. Now that the onions are golden brown and cooled, I'm grating Gruyere cheese right into my bowl. And you'll notice I'm using cut-resistant gloves just to avoid any accidents. So I have 1/3 pound of Gruyere cheese, which is about 2½ cups. And then to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And just kind of eyeball this. It doesn't have to be exact. You know, Gruyere cheese is produced mainly in Switzerland, in the Gruyere region. I bought this yesterday at a farmer's market in Dillon, Colorado. They have a wonderful cheese company there that imports all the cheeses from Europe, primarily from France. So I have puff pastry, which you'll find in the freezer section of your grocery store, and I just use 1 sheet of puff pastry, and I'm sealing the edges where it was folded, just right here, just to make sure that they stay together when it's baking. Then I take a table knife. I'm just going to score the edges of the pastry about a 1/2 inch in length, being careful not to cut through all the way to the base of the puff pastry. So I love this recipe because it reminds me of a trip to Nice in the southern region of France, and every little shop with fruit and vegetables displayed outside had sun-dried tomatoes. And so we're going to, in order to get that real southern France flavor and feel, going to garnish this at the end with sun-dried tomatoes. So here are those beautiful, beautiful onions. Okay. Then here comes that cheese mixture. Here's the Gruyere, the Swiss Gruyere, with the Parmesan cheese mixed in there. And then I have 1 beaten egg. And I brush the edges of the puff pastry with the egg mixture. You know, my husband and I lived in France for a year, and that's the great thing about traveling, is you can recreate the flavors you experience when you travel. So I'm already planning my next group cruise for 2023. And then, just to get that wonderful Provence flavor, those sun-dried tomatoes. And there we go. Now, I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and this is going to bake for 18 to 20 minutes until the cheese is all melted and the puff pastry has just puffed up and it's golden brown. It's easy to bring a little bit of France to your table with this caramelized onion and Gruyère Tart Provençale. For Sunday brunch, a light supper, or sliced into wedges to serve as an appetizer. It features the flavors of a French sidewalk cafe. Bon appetit! Take care, find the joy.